Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Tamiya 1/35th scale M3 Lee that we've been building. And we haven't seen this project for a little while because I've been struggling, as you can see, with these failed 3D prints, especially this one. Look at the mess that made. This one actually, no, this one did completely print. This one here, it got, in order to get all my detail to show up, I couldn't print it flat. I had to actually tilt it up like this to get it to print, but I had my speeds too fast, and it got to this point, and then it all of a sudden just started making some weird spirally plastic noodles on top of it. Something messed up, and so I had to cancel that print. These prints here probably would have turned out okay, but I did, in the slicer software they call it, which takes your 3D drawing and puts it in a language that the printer can understand and make. Again, I had speed issues too, but especially this one, you can see the big mess in the bottom side there. I accidentally had a setting that's called support everywhere, and it supports everywhere. So I was able to almost successfully, and I can pull out, this is the latest one. It prints all this, and this here I beat up with my side cutters trying to cut the part out. But you have to support the part, obviously, otherwise you're going to have sagging in your layers. So this is what this actually was encased like this. This is the latest print I've done, and this one's successful. But the other ones I had support everywhere, and as you can see, it made a big mess. I ended up breaking the wheels off of them trying to get them off the deal. So these are all garbage, but this is the very first print I did, and I printed it pretty much flat like that. Had a little support on the bottom that I had to break off. But in the software, no matter what I did, it filled in my main rollers in. It didn't have the spokey part like this one does, the fine detail. And boy, it took me a few hours to draw this up, so I wanted to make sure that it was going to be right. But yeah, I mean, it's a good preliminary sample, and I've showed that before in the video. But this one here is the final, and it's got all the ribbing detail in it that I wanted, front and back. It's got my glue support for where it attaches to the hull, just like the original. And the we'll just turn the M3 Lee over here and I'll show you. What I'm going to end up doing is priming and painting this part off the model. That way I'm gonna make sure this is a good glue point, and I'll have to scrape the paint off here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how it fits on there and looks on the model compared to the other ones. Let's see if I can get it to, well, maybe a little bit of tape. Let's get some tape. It's gonna be not on there right, but we'll just tape that on there and give you a visual of what it's going to look like compared to the actual kit. Again, like I said, I struggled big time with getting my, I'm going to pick this up and put it like this. There we go. So this is the side with all the original parts. And just a little backstory, if you didn't see the previous videos of the M3 Lee, I bought this kit off eBay, not realizing somebody already started it. I was looking at probably a dozen of these same identical kits on eBay, and I got one of those. The sellers sent you an offer, and it was like $12. And this is like a, what, $45 kit or something like that. But anyways, it was missing this whole suspension system part here. And the barrel. This barrel here is actually a toothpick that I sanded. This is all toothpick, and I was kind of proud of that. I sanded it into the shape and size that the actual gun was supposed to be. So that's actually wood. And what else was it missing? Can't remember. Maybe it pretty much had everything else. There might have been some little odds and ends here that I wasn't too worried about. But I think it's missing the antenna, the actual whip part of the antenna, which I can easily probably fabricate that out of some wire or something. But I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then I finally got that 3D printer. And yeah, there you go. That's the 3D printed part right here in the middle compared to the actual original injection molded parts from the kit. I took my calipers and I measured everything on one of these suspension pieces, and like I said, I probably spent, I don't know how long I've spent drawing this up on Blender, but it took me a while. I had so many errors when I converted it over, or I exported it over to the slicer is what they call it for the actual 3D printer, that I struggled getting it to finally go. But now I got a successful print. I'll get some primer on it. The scaling's accurate. And I don't think if I would tell anybody if they saw this model on the diorama I'm building, I don't think they'd even know. The only thing that the 3D printer, you can see the lines, but there's things you can do for that. I'm actually just going to prime and paint it. I'm not really worried about the texture. My diorama scene and the title of it was, I was going to call it M3 Lee in the Trees. And it was going to have some trees going in between some trees and some bushes, and then there'll be a grassy area. I was going to have the turret like this, and I did decide I was going to do the open hatch with the figure looking out of it. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. But now we can proceed with this, now that it's finally got the missing piece taken care of. And you'll see more of this here coming along, because I want to get this one finished, and I think I'm going to build the Stormgeschütz next, because that's kind of like my favorite tank destroyer. But anyways, wanted to show you, if anybody was wondering, well, what happened to the tank you were building? I struggled to get that printed. That's what happened. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.